Hi there, it's Mandy here. It's been a while, but today we're finally looking at the Loz hot pot set. This one definitely took me a while to build. This is the Loz Sichuan hot pot set 1072, 4,344 pieces. And here's the instruction booklet. These are the nicer instructions from Loz. It's got all these cover art and illustrations inside. So with Loz sets, they usually don't have numbered bags, but with these bigger sets, what they do is they usually break it up into parts and they group them in that way. So for example, this here is part A, and then this is what you're building in part A, and all of the pieces are grouped in a bigger bag that's labeled A. And this one has, I think, 4 parts, A, B, C, D. So this first part, you're building the structure of the pot. The second part, part B, is the pot itself, like the inside, or rather the top of the pot. And then C and D are these other smaller parts here, right? The instructions are easy to follow, pretty typical Loz instructions, no issues there. There's a lot to the set, but we're gonna look at the pot itself first. I'm gonna move all the other stuff aside for now. Okay, so here's the pot itself. And before I take a closer look at it, I wanted to point out these panda minifigures here first. I don't know if this panda theme hot pot is a thing in China. I did a quick Google and I did find a hot pot store that has like a panda theme, and I'm not sure if this set is based on that or what the deal is with these pandas. But personally, I think it's a little unnecessary. I prefer this set without the pandas. So I'm gonna remove these pandas from the set for now. Okay, we're gonna look at these figures later. All right, so much better. I like it like this better. I don't know what the pandas are supposed to be for and why they're necessary. But anyway, so here it is. And the structure of this pot, first of all, this thing is massive. Like this is like bigger than my head. And these are all in mini bricks because this is Loz. So this is massive. Obviously, it's a little repetitive when you're building it. And what you do is basically, let me just quickly show you in the booklet, but you're basically building like a hollow structure in the middle and with all these panels on the side, and then the top part is just a flat kind of board that goes on top of the hollow structure. But I thought the build itself of the structure was a bit different. They used some Technic pieces in there to hold some stuff down, and it wasn't too bad. It wasn't really as much of a drag that I thought it would be building it. And yeah, I thought it was kind of clever the way they put it together. But these pieces on the side here, these panels, are definitely a little bit repetitive. But overall, I would say it's not too bad. And once you have it together, some parts were like a little bit finicky as to where you apply pressure, but once you have it put together, it's actually pretty solid. Like I wouldn't drop it or anything, but the bowl itself is pretty solid. This is what the bottom of the pot looks like, by the way. And yeah, if you press too hard on some spots, things might pop off, or like these panels might pop off. But if you just, if you're holding it with like this, then it should be fine. These dragons here on the side, which presumably is the handle of the pot, these looks really good. All these gold pieces look really good on this pot, and the way they put together the dragon and the face of the dragon, I think it looks really good. I really like this addition here. And then now to the pot itself. So we got here like a dual pot going on. One side we have the mala spicy hot pot, and then the other side looks like we have like a chicken broth or clear broth type of thing on the other side. And on the back here, you have this like effect that they're trying to create where the soup is kind of almost spilling out. basically what the what was on the illustration. So like this. All right, and on the spicy hot pot side of things, we have these like chili peppers speckled throughout. I like that, and these green onions they put on there, I thought was really cute as well. I almost wish they had more ingredients in the pot, but I guess the idea is you could put some of the ingredients from the side in there yourself. All right, so other than the chili peppers and the green onion, you have some of these white blocks that as opposed to tofu, and you have a mushroom in there, and this green piece, which I guess maybe is like a radish or a melon or something. And then they have some like oils dripping off the sides of the pot here. And I guess inside you also have some like oil drops, some yellow pieces, kind of just things floating around in the soup. And on the other side, the clear broth side kind of has like different tones or different colors in there. You have like a lighter yellow or beige in the middle, and then some like darker yellow, I guess it's like the oils in the soup. So you have some similar ingredients. You have like the tofu and the mushroom here, but this one is like only half of it is showing on top of the soup. The other half is kind of like inside. So I like that effect. And same thing here with these corns. This one is floating and this one kind of like half of it is showing. So I do like the look of these ingredients in here. And then of course you have this part here with the meat kind of halfway dipped into the soup, and you can actually see like that the middle of this meat is brown, so kind of like part of it is cooked. So nice detail there. This chopstick piece here, by the way, and this meat, this is kind of loose. It's just held down by 2 studs on here, so it is kind of loose. But this chopstick actually is a little bit articulate, like you can move it a little bit in different angles. But yeah, but this thing is not the most secure. However, it does look really good. I think this is a cool addition. It just kind of adds some action to the pot that would otherwise be more flat, and adds some interest. And then in the middle part here is a mahjong table. I'm not sure why they included a mahjong table in the middle of the pot. But in any case, in their like promotional photos, they put like their the panda figurines here and play mahjong. But I don't know what the story is behind this. But again, I feel like this is a little unnecessary. I would maybe take this off. I prefer it without it. It's just a little cleaner, and this doesn't really add to like the whole look of the thing, in my opinion. And on the side of this pot, you also have this like ladder, and the idea is that this ladder is for like the pandas to climb up into the pot. Again, I think it will look better without it. If you take it off, you could take it off pretty easily. But yeah, that's it for the pot itself. Let's look at some of the other pieces here. This meat holder. I'm being really careful. This is a little delicate. All right, so I've never really had hot pot meat being served like this, like draped over a holder. I don't know, maybe that's how they serve it in China. But I like the way that this is being presented. I think it adds a little bit more interest rather than having this and everything else all on a flat plate. So I like the presentation of it, and I think it's also makes it easier in terms of displaying the piece as well. You can see it more easily. So this stand here, there's a sign in the front or a label that says this is beef, and it says this is A5 beef, as a matter of fact. And then on top of the stand or the plate, there's some green stuff, which presumably are like vegetables, and then they also got some red transparent pieces there, kind of like the blood from the meat dripping onto the vegetables. So that's nice. The meat itself has this sort of pixelated look, which I think makes it look a little less realistic, but I appreciate that it is all bricked out instead of, say, like a giant sticker over the thing or something like that. And yeah, I think the overall effect is still very recognizable and it looks good. All right, so that's the meat stand. Let's look at a vegetable platter here. So here's one of them. So the vegetables have this panda shaped plate, which I do like. I think that's kind of cute. And this one we have some mushrooms and some corn. I really like the way they built the corn, by the way. I think it looks pretty good. It looks pretty realistic. And I do like the mushrooms as well. You can see on the side it has like the stem. They put it sort of like angled so you can see it even when you place it down. And it's all secured onto the plate, by the way. So that's nice. So you can like do this and it still won't fall off. The other plate of veggies has the same plate, the same panda plate, same size and everything. And this one, we have lotus root and some bok choy on the side. I like the look of that bok choy, right? So these two plates overall, I think looks good. It looks semi-realistic. So this one here has like 3 compartments. It's a very simple build, and you have it says duck blood. I thought it would be pork blood, but this is duck blood, and I like the way they built that. It looks nice. And beef balls in the middle, and then the imitation crab meat on this compartment. These labels here, these are not stickers. These are actually paper that came with the set. And it's like there's a holes punched on it and you put it in there and it's secured by a piece. And I kind of like that. It's a little different. This in the front though is a sticker. There are not a lot of stickers in this set at all. So this looks really good. Like I like the imitation crab meat here. These patterns here, these are printed. And I think these look really good. These are secured onto the plate, by the way, and these are not. These are just loose pieces, right? And then you have some garnish on these 2 sides and a chili pepper there as well. All right, and then so that's pretty much like all of the food items. Now let's look at some of the other miscellaneous items. All right, you have this thing here, giant panda, and I guess this is maybe the name of this store, of this hot pot store. And on this sign here, it just says Yin Yang Wo, which means like, you know, the dual pot. And for some reason, some mahjong pieces there as well, and that is a sticker. So these signs here and this and all of these are stickers. And then there's also a tiny panda here. So again, I'm not sure this is totally necessary. I don't really get this whole panda theme thing. This actually took a while to build too, compared to these other pieces. So I'm not sure. I'm just not sure about this. I wouldn't even display it with that personally. And then you also have this sauce plate. Now this sauce plate is also panda theme, and I don't mind these. I think these are cute, like these veggie plates being panda sort of shaped, and this plate here as well. I think that's kind of cute. And I like this anti-gravity thing they're doing here as well with this sauce pouring onto it. This is vinegar, by the way. I normally eat hot pot with soy sauce, but in this case, this is vinegar. And this definitely looks cool when you put it down, and it's much better than just having this bottle on the side, I think. But this thing here is, I don't want to take it off because it's standing right now, but it's just held by one stud. So at first it was kind of hard to secure it. It kept just falling over, but right now it seems to be staying, so let's not touch it. And then finally, we have a teacup. And now again, this teacup has this panda figure in it. That's creepy. Like, why do we need the panda in the tea? I don't know. I would take this off. And also this like little sign here says tea. It says cha on it. Same thing. I don't know why we need that. Like this on its own is so much better, so much cleaner. These patterns on the cup itself, these are all printed, so that's actually very nice. And I do like this panda print on the cup itself. And I like that they included this lid and they secured it to the cup itself, so it doesn't fall off, right? So you can display it like that. Very nice. I like that. This cup reminds me of like the one from the dim sum sets, and I liked those ones too. So this is just a little bigger and with this like print on it. And I think that's it with all the pieces to this set. Now let's take a look at these minifigures. All right, they're all pandas. So you have this guy on the surfboard, and this surfboard is a printed piece, which I guess is nice. And the weird thing also about these figures is that the panda face is like a helmet. So you have like a faceless, or like a head with just the eyes, and then the panda has like holes in the helmet, and you just put it over the head, and the eye kind of peeks through the holes. And I don't know, I think it's a little creepy looking. I'm not a fan. In any case, this guy is supposed to go on here, kind of like surfing this hot pot, like the waves here. And then where's the other guy? This guy is holding like a green onion, and he's sitting on top of the chopsticks. Oh, he's kind of like sliding on his chopsticks into the pot. I don't know. And then this guy is sitting on here with like with an oar, kind of like, I guess, riding this corn. I don't know, man. Like this whole panda being cooked into this pot thing is a little creepy, in my opinion. Okay, and then of course you have the guy that was on the tea. And this guy only has half a body because the other half is inside the teapot, right? And then you have these two guys. These two guys have like a masked face, or like a face paint type of look on it. I guess they're supposed to be like those Chinese opera actors kind of thing. And again, I don't know why, but this guy has like these flags on the back, and he's holding sort of like a mask, another mask. But this guy is like, this back here is just too heavy for him, so he can't stand. He just kind of falls over. And then this other guy has like a fan. He's holding a fan, and it says 青美佛窝 on it, like a Sichuan hot pot on the fan. And then he has a cape. This cape, mine is broken. It was just broken when I peeled it off, or when I put it on, right? So this is like a fabric piece, but you have to put it through the head before you put on, through the neck before you put on the head. But mine is just broken, so it's not gonna stay on anymore. It just keeps flipping over. But this guy is also kind of like top heavy, I guess. Oh, it didn't want to stand before, but now it's standing. But yeah, it's really hard to get him to stand also. Oh, and this set comes with this paper, or like this placemat, kind of like the one we saw in the dim sum set. So you have this placemat, and this is actually pretty nice. It's nicely printed. It does kind of look like the stuff that you see in the restaurants. I think this is pretty nicely printed, actually. The whole thing has a different illustrations on the entire thing. But yeah, that is it for this set. Overall, I think this is a great set. It's super fun to build. The design is unique, and also another thing I like about this set is that there aren't a lot of stickers at all, especially for a Loz set, because Loz usually has a lot of stickers. But the only stickers you really have are like these signs on here, and this label on the bottle, and maybe a few others, but that's about it. Most of these are bricked out, which is really nice. I love that they went all out with this thing. I mean, minus the whole panda thing, I think this set looks great. Like, I like that it has all of these different elements. It makes the building experience more interesting. It's just pretty fun to put together. And I guarantee you're gonna get a craving for hot pot while you're building this, because I did several times. So you have been warned. This set reminds me a lot of like the dim sum sets. It almost feels like it's from the same series, or maybe like the same designer. And I did do a full review on the dim sum sets as well. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link to the video. But yeah, I like that they're coming up with these kind of designs. and I hope they come out with more. They do seem to be coming out with more. They were also coming out with this like Japanese crab set recently. I've mentioned that in my new releases video. Yeah, that's it for today's review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Let's try putting some more ingredients in this pot. Let's see. Right? Put some crab meat in here. Let me put some lotus root in there. Maybe another corn in here. Put this here. That's a giant bok choy. Yeah, looks nice when it's a little bit more full.